You'll need the following tools: scissors, a Phillips head screwdriver, a pencil, and a drill with a Phillips head drill bit. Inside the box you should have an instruction manual, the foam weather seal and rubber air gap seal, and the upper frame. There will be a smaller box containing the frame joiner, tube spanner, 4 frame joining bolts, pack out foam strips, a frame and lock bracket pack, and the lower frame with the locking panel attached. First, measure your door opening and check if any height extensions are needed. Extensions are sold separately. Place the upper frame and lower frame flat on the floor with the lock bolts facing upwards. Take the joiner and frame joining bolts out of the box. Slide the joiner into the lower frame until flush. Slide upper and lower frames together until the frames are fully connected. Secure the frame together using the 4 frame joining bolts and tighten using a Phillips head screwdriver. A temporary install is for situations where you can't modify the door or it needs to be removed frequently. A bar lock can provide a secure, damage-free option for a temporary install. Bar locks are sold separately on our website. Loosen the lock bolts by twisting them anti-clockwise. Ensure the top piece springs up freely. Lift the pet door into your sliding door track. Allow top piece to spring into place and firmly tighten the lock bolts by twisting them clockwise. Check if the pet door is the correct height. If not, extensions are available to increase the height. A top extension joins at the top of the pet door to raise the overall height of the door. Slide the extension on top of the pet door and use the supplied bolt to screw in place. Tighten with the tube spanner. A middle extension joins in the middle to raise the overall height of the door. Undo the 4 middle joining bolts and slide in the extension to the lower frame. Reinstall 4 middle joining bolts. Slide in the upper frame and reinstall another 4 middle joining bolts. A bottom riser extension joins at the bottom of the pet door to raise the step over height for your pet. If the door is touching your pet's back as they go through, a bottom riser extension may be needed. The bottom riser screws may need to be loosened to slide into the frame smoothly. Slide in the bottom riser extension into the bottom of the lower frame. If the pet door is too tall, the top section can be removed to gain an extra 30 millimeters. To remove the top section, tighten the lock bolts, then remove the 2 screws and slide the top part out. Then reinstall the 2 screws. Check that the top piece is moving freely into the channel and is applying adequate pressure. You can loosen and re-tighten the lock bolts if needed. If the pet door is still loose in the door frame, cut and insert the pack out foam pieces along the edges to make a firm fit. A secure install ensures the sliding door can lock onto the pet door. This is ideal for long-term use and offers a stable and secure install. First, determine the type of locking mechanism on the sliding door. For an internal lock, you'll need to remove the internal latch and reinstall this onto the patio pet door. Ensure the latch lines up with the locking hook on your sliding door. After completing this step, follow the frameside install instructions in this video to complete the install. For an external lock, you'll need to use the lock bracket pack supplied with the pet door. The door we are installing on today has an external lock. If the pet door is in the sliding door track, start by removing it. Using a Phillips head screwdriver, unscrew the lock catch from the sliding door frame. Screw the removed lock catch into the lock bracket with the bolts provided. Slide 3 bolts into the track groove and place the lock bracket on top. Install the lock bracket into your track loosely, ready for final height adjustment. Lift and place the pet door into your sliding door tracks. Slide the bracket up until it aligns with your sliding door lock and tighten all bolts with the tube spanner. If you haven't already, reinstall the cover over your lock catch and bracket. Once you have installed the lock onto the pet door, use the frame bracket pack to complete the frame side install. Start by loosening the lock bolts and removing the pet door from the frame. Using a pencil, mark 3 evenly spaced holes on your fixed door frame. Attach the frame brackets with the large self-tapping screws using your drill and Phillips head bit. Insert the pet door back into the door frame, then drill in the small self-tapping screws through the frame brackets on the pet door. It is recommended to install a weather seal and air gap seal to close any gaps or drafts after the pet door is installed. Apply the foam seal to the edge of the fixed sliding door. Ensure that it lines up with the indent on the pet door before applying the entire roll. Attach the rubber seal to the rear of the fixed sliding door. Ensure that the seal flap makes contact with the glass panel behind it so that it creates an air seal. It should flap back and forth as the door is opened. Using a Phillips head screwdriver, loosen the screws securing the flap. Using a flathead screwdriver, pry open the metal strip that clasps the flap in place. Remove or reposition the flap as needed. Push down on the metal strip to clasp the flap in place and secure with screws.